Good morning, friends. It's Monday. It is freezing cold. My kids don't have school today because it is President's Day, so I am lounging in bed drinking my leftover Starbucks coffee from yesterday. So it's a pretty chill morning, which I don't get many mornings like this. Usually, you guys know, usually I'm up at like 4:35 trying to get my husband out the door. I sit and eat something, and then it's time for my kids to get up. So it's very nice and very rare to have slower mornings on a Monday, especially. But Brett's parents went out of town, so Day and I grabbed some Starbucks yesterday before we went to go let their dogs out. But technically, we celebrated Valentine's Day the weekend before, so we had a pretty relaxing morning. Dalen and I painted our nails, which I don't really do a whole lot in the wintertime. And then I did a little self-care, just doing like tinting my eyebrows and my eyelashes. And then Dalen and I, she wanted to help me. We started on some heart-shaped pizzas, which I even debated not doing the heart shape, but I had to. And it turned out super cute. I just didn't want to waste a whole lot of like the crust by cutting the heart out, but it was fine. I just kind of kept it like a bubble heart. So Dalen, I almost said decorated. Dalen fixed up her pizza with just cheese only, and then I fixed up the last 3 pizzas for myself and Dalton and Brett. So it wasn't anything fancy, but I think sometimes I overthink it, and I like simple. Sometimes I feel like I'm not doing enough when it comes to, I don't know, just like stuff as a mom or stuff as a wife. I'm like, it needs to be more extravagant and dramatic, and I don't know, maybe that's like social media telling you that it, when you celebrate stuff or do things, but I'm really trying to embrace, like, I just like simple. So I just bought a tablecloth and some plates to match, and then Dalen helped me decorate the table, and I made a little garland saying, I guess, that I taped on the wall, which you will see here in a second. And we just had some heart-shaped pizzas and had dinner together, and then we watched a movie after that, and it was a really good Sunday. So the whole point of us celebrating the weekend before was because I had to work all of Valentine's weekend. So that Friday and Saturday I had to work, and we were so busy at work. We had tons of reservations, so pretty much every seat in the place was full, and I had people coming in that didn't have a reservation. We were trying to sit them, and then we also had a guy who plays acoustic guitar there. So it was just such a fun, like, it was just a vibe, you know what I mean? Like, just being at the place with some music in the background, and it was very busy, and I like the busyness, and it was a lot of fun. But sometimes people would like get up and move around, and then you'd have to move them in the system, and it was chaotic, but it was a good chaotic, because when the day is slow, it just drags on. So I do like to be really busy at work. But anyways, Dalen and I also ended up making some desserts. I always come through with the desserts. I love to bake. I don't love to cook all the time, but I love to bake. And I think Dalen is starting to embrace that too. She loves to do, like, help me out in the kitchen more. She's like hit that stage where she loves cleaning and like organizing and rearranging her room, which is exactly what I used to do when I was her age as well. So she helped me with these, I don't really quite know what they're called, but it's just a sugar cookie, like the pre-made dough. You just take a blob of it and you put it in a mini muffin tin, you let it cook, take it out of the oven, and then you plop the Reese's down in the middle. And then the second one that I did was a cheesecake, like a strawberry cheesecake. So after the desserts were done, I decided to clean up the kitchen and kind of get the house picked up for the week. It just makes a huge difference when I can wake up to a clean kitchen and a clean house, but that doesn't always happen. 2 things that I have been focusing on more lately is just listening to my body and resting. I always feel guilty for resting for some reason, just even like sitting down. I just always feel like I need to be doing something. And I saw this meme the other day and it was like, oh, you're so productive. Thanks. My brain convinces me I'm worthless if I'm not doing something. And I felt that. I'm like, why is that how my mind works? But just trying to focus on resting and knowing that it's okay to do that. Another thing that I'm wanting to focus on this year is my perspective. So, for example, I know a lot of times in the past, I feel like it was really hard having to do a lot of things alone as a stay-at-home mom, especially when my kids were little. They had a lot of like programs and stuff at the school, and I was the available parent, you know, because I'm a stay-at-home mom, and my husband would be working or just getting home from work when the kids have after-school things going on or birthday parties on a Saturday, and that was difficult. It felt lonely, and it was nothing my husband was doing or not doing. It's just part of life. But changing my perspective on that and, you know, shifting my focus and thinking like how lucky I am to be available, how lucky I am that my husband provides, and how I'm sure that he would want to be there too, but he can't. So I think that's just one example. There's so many like little things throughout the day that if you can just shift your focus and kind of shift your perspective on things, I don't know, just focusing on things like that as a mom and a wife, because you can definitely lean into changing your perspective in your marriage too. It's helped a lot, and it's helped my mindset, and just keeping the focus on being positive and leaning into a better mindset all around. So this year I am just all about my mental health, keeping that positive momentum going through any difficult situation, and that also helps with my anxiety. I like talk myself through a lot of things because my anxiety does get so high, but I think just knowing, for me personally, everything, I am a full believer that everything happens for a reason. And with that being said, it's also because of my faith and trusting God, and that is always at the forefront of everything that I do. So that is it. That is kind of where my mind's been at lately. It feels really good to be back into vlogging. I hope you guys are enjoying kind of this series of more of like my perspective on just doing things around the house and all the mom stuff, wife stuff. So I hope you guys had a wonderful Valentine's, and I will see you in my next video.